That's where we're going to answer all those questions, okay? Jump over to YouTube, y'all. About to answer all your questions. Badaki, are we live?
Yeah, it's going. It's loading right now.
Okay.
On my screen.
Badaki's going to let me know exactly when we're live. All right, y'all. We'll see you on YouTube. All right, what's going on? Is it live?
Yeah.
It is? I just don't have a link. Can you send me the link so I can see? Because the link that you sent doesn't work.
Oh, no? Okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
All right, y'all. Welcome in. We're going to let some more people trickle into the chat. Badaki's going to send me a link so I can see y'all's questions. Happy Saturday night.
Happy Saturday night.
It still says video is unavailable. It says video is private.
Video is private. Let's see. What's poppin'? Brand new, which just hopped in. Okay. It actually should be good now. I just double checked. Everything is good. I double sent a video.
All right, yeah. I think we are live.
We're going.
What's up, people? What's up? What's up?
We got the boy Connor in already. I love it. What's good, y'all?
All right,
once
people.
Again.
Go ahead, Badaki.
Now I'm gonna say once again, we're gonna let people come trickle in. We're gonna let some people join a little bit before we start answering questions. Do your thing. How's everyone's doing? How everyone doing?
All right, this is actually a monumental moment right now because we have never gone live on YouTube before. So
first time for everything. It's a learning curve.
Yeah, if you're joining us, you've made history with us. So go ahead and give yourself a little round of applause there.
Sure, y'all, was good.
All right, y'all.
You guys might have different names on YouTube than on Instagram. So if you have a specific name on Instagram that you don't carry on YouTube, say it so we can shout you out. We can do whatever.
100%. This is fun, yo. All right.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy.
Let's play the intro and then we'll start answering some questions.
Say no more.
Welcome to the FantasyLand Football Podcast.
All right. Welcome in. Week 10, Badaki. Week 10 start, sit, advice. We're going to be answering all your questions today on the live stream. Badaki, first off, just want to see how's your Saturday going, brother? Actually, it's a Sunday for you in Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney, Australia here. It's currently Sunday, 12:02 on what day is today? Technically November the 15th.
Yeah.
I am a couple hours away from kickoff. Not really.
Yeah, it would be, but you live in Sydney. All right. Apparently my cousin's saying hello. What's up, Roro? All right, let's start answering some questions, guys. I'm
seeing a lot of quarterback Herbert, Lamar, Deshaun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Watson, Burrow. Sorry, you can continue. Lead the way.
Yeah. Okay. I want to answer from the top. Brady. What's up, Brady, my guy? He says Herbert or Lamar, and I think that's a really good question, Badaki. I think it's pretty clear to see that Herbert's continually rising in the ranks. How do you feel about that this week? I feel like they're neck and neck. I'm personally probably going to be starting Herbert over Lamar, and I think that's pretty crazy to say, but it might be the right call.
Yeah, I think it definitely is the right call. I know everyone is probably hesitant that Lamar, in starting him with everything that he's kind of doing, and he's not putting up the numbers he did last year. Somebody in our league keeps saying, we're expecting Lamar to be putting up the same numbers as last year, but that's such a huge expectation for someone that broke so many records, for someone that has done so many things for the first time. So you really can't expect him to be doing those things. Obviously, he's Lamar Jackson. You probably expect him to be having some sort of year close to it. But it's a different year. It's a new year. I think this is the real Lamar. Personally, I think these are the numbers going forward. Maybe later on in the next 2 or 3 years, he's gonna have really great games, but he's gonna have games where it's probably just gonna range from 15 to 25, and you're gonna have to be okay with that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, and I saw a question just right below it, and the question was Deshaun or Herbert. And Connor, that was your question. I feel like I'm probably going to have to go with Deshaun here. The matchup is better with Cleveland. Do you agree? You feel the same?
Yeah, I feel the same. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Zell TV, JD or Rager? And I assume that means
JD
McKissick or Jalen Rager. If it's PPR, I think we're both going to lean towards JD. If it's standard, I think we're both probably going to lean towards Rager. Is that are we on the same page there?
Yeah, I think these are both great starts personally, and it's crazy to say that J.D. McKissick is someone to even consider starting after this week, or after last week technically. But yeah, I think J.D. McKissick has the better matchup against Detroit.
Yeah, I agree. If it's a PPR league, I think you have to start JD just because of his role. As a third down back, I mean, you just can't underestimate that. He's getting so many touches. Like we said on the podcast this week, Padaki, Antonio Gibson, I love him. He is so talented. For whatever reason, they're not allowing him to play on third downs. For the entire year, guys, Antonio Gibson's only ever had one touch on third down. One touch for the whole year. And that's because J.D. McKissick has taken that role over. Zell TV had another question, Watson or Burrow? Watson for sure is probably the start there. All right, Connor, we got your next question. Guys, we're just going from the top, bottom. Ask your questions in the chat. And Connor says, Mike Davis, Nick Chubb, and Duke Johnson, pick 3. Well, there's only 3 options there. Oh, he says pick 2. Okay. For me, it's got to be Nick Chubb and Mike Davis. Do you feel the same?
Oh, man. This is interesting. I don't know. I think for me, it probably had to be Duke Johnson Chubb, purely because Mike Davis is playing the Tampa Bay Bucks, and he had a good match. Not that he had a good match, but the Bucks came off a really bad loss. Okay,
yeah,
and that is something that they're not going to tolerate again. Yeah. And I think they're really going to shut down this Carolina Panthers, offense,
for sure.
which is sad because I have Robbie on my team, so I'm a bit hesitant in starting him. But he's kind of a must-have. But yeah, Duke Johnson, I think, is a great start personally.
Yeah.
I think who does he play again? He plays Cleveland, like you said, and then also who's the other guy? Chubb. Yeah, Chubb. They play against each other. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's Chubb and Duke for me.
I love it. Hey guys, if you're watching, by the way, and you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, just hit the subscribe and the bell so you don't miss any of our notifications. We're going to go live every week to help you. Appreciate everyone for being here. Drop a like as well on the video. All right, so I'm going to go to Luke Karam's question because we've already answered Lamar or Justin Herbert, guys. We're definitely leading Justin Herbert there. Just can't trust Lamar in that offense. They just have not got it fully figured out just yet. All right, Connor says Juju, AB, Mike Evans, or John Brown. And I'm assuming you can only choose one in this scenario. And all these wide receivers are in kind of a very similar bracket as far as how we feel about them. Who are you going there, Badaki?
Yeah, it's tough. I think I personally think Juju has a tough matchup. It's crazy to say, but the Bengals really, I guess looking at the matchups, the Bengals, have been doing pretty well against these wide receivers. They really shut down AJ Brown into the fourth quarter, and I think it's going to be the same with Juju. I don't think Juju is going to be producing. I could be wrong once again, but I think if I had to go somebody here, I definitely am confident in starting Mike Evans. And
well, you know what we've been saying all year about the Steelers wide receivers room. It's just someone's going to be really fantasy relevant. We just don't really know exactly who that's going to be. Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes you have to consider that when making a decision. I think I'm probably going to be leaning Mike Evans here. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I'm leaning Mike Evans for sure.
Okay, and Luke, we saw your question. Luke Karam had a question. My man is offering me Julio, Mostert, Kupp, and Allen for Kamara, assuming that's Josh Allen. So you are getting Julio Jones. Raheem Mostert should be coming back off IR next week or the following week. Cooper Kupp, and Josh Allen for Alvin Kamara. Is that good value for Alvin Kamara? I think so.
It's definitely good value. I'm interested in his running backs.
Yeah.
I would like to kind of elaborate more on that, or not elaborate, but more understand his team fully. But yeah, I think it all depends on his running backs, and if you think that all these guys can contribute to your team, and if you're struggling at wide receiver somehow, you can get Julio and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And Robert and Josh Allen. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like it. And I think the question we always, when we give trade advice, we always want to know what's the depth on your team, right? Do you have the depth to lose Alvin Kamara? Like maybe you have Russell Wilson already at quarterback and you don't really need Josh Allen. If you need a quarterback and you have a good depth at running back, this is a great trade for you. We're okay with this one. All right, Braden Hurwitz said, who should I start, Tua or Goff? I think we both feel the same way on this one. We would be starting Goff because of his matchup. We'd love Tua, but we just want to see consistency. That's what we've always said, Badaki. Hey.
That's right. Consistency is key.
Yeah. Lamar Watson, we have said we would go with Watson already there. What's up, Trevin? Andrews or Hooper? Andrews has been very off lately. Maybe should he bench Mark Andrews? Oh, my goodness. Let's talk about the tight end position. Guys. There's potentially not a sadder situation than the tight end market. Look, here's the deal. I think we probably see this the same way, Badaki, but tell me if I'm wrong. You got to start Mark Andrews over Austin Hooper.
Yeah. You have to start him. I mean, you draft capital. You probably drafted in the second or third round. Look, you definitely have to start him. He's playing the New England Patriots once again. I think I said this on the podcast, but I think the Ravens could lose this game purely because if there's somebody that can beat this team and beat this scheme is Bill Belichick. So, yeah I think he's still a good start against his Patriots defense, but it's hard to start him.
We're up to Brady here. Brady says, Jerry Jeudy or Tyler Lockett? I think
for me, it has to be Tyler Lockett.
It has to be Tyler Lockett. Yeah. You can't sit Tyler Lockett. He's a boom or bust guy. We talked about him on the pod this week. He could win you your week. He could lose you your week, but you don't want to have him on your bench at any point this year. Elijah, I'm assuming that's Elijah Burnsy. From our fantasy football league. Maybe he's trying to get advice on his matchup.
Yeah, this is the downfall, guys. When you run a fantasy football podcast and people in your league are asking for advice and you're probably going against them this week, you have to be unbiased, and it's hard. It's hard because you want them to lose. You want to win.
It's also hard because the guys in our league who do listen to the podcast, when we give trade targets or whatever, or we talk about waiver wires, I feel like they listen, which is good that they listen, but it also hurts for us.
It hurts us because then, 10 minutes after the podcast and the podcast comes out, they're got the person that you're talking about trading for.
Yeah. All right. Elijah Burnsy says, James White, Burkhead, Malcolm Brown, or Jamal Williams. Oh, my goodness. What a situation to be in. None. No. You have to start one, though, right? So I don't think you can start Burkhead. I don't think you can start Brown, and I don't think you can start Jamal Williams, and I don't think you can start James White, but I think he's got the highest upside because of the pass-catching ability.
Yeah. That was what I was going to say. James White will get some points. How much, we don't know. He will catch some passes. Probably won't be much, but
yeah.
Look, I actually believe that if Damian Harris isn't 100% healthy, then maybe they won't use him. He was questionable. I think he is good to go to play this Sunday, but I think Burkhead will step into Damian Harris's role.
Okay. ZelTV just had a follow-up question on Deshaun Watson. He said, even though the weather is going to be bad in Cleveland, yes, the weather is supposed to be bad, but look, here's the deal, guys. Think about the Houston Texans. Have they ever relied on anyone except for Deshaun Watson? Regardless of the scenario, regardless of the weather, I'd be starting Deshaun still. Deshaun is what makes this team go. If they win or if they lose, it's because of Deshaun Watson. And they're going to give him the keys to the kingdom again. So, yeah, we would still be starting him. Jerick McKinnon or DJ Dallas this week with a upset face from Pat's roughly. And I get it. I get the upsetness, right? Because Jerick McKinnon in that 49ers backfield has just been really frustrating. What are you doing here, Badaki?
Look, I think I said it in the podcast. I am not excited starting any 49ers running backs at all. So I personally think that you have to go DJ Dallas. He's going to get some sort of touches. Look, I know this Rams defense is decent, and you're probably saying, well, but they have, Sam Darnold and a really good front four. But you have to start DJ Dallas over Jared McKinnon, personally.
Yeah, I'm a little bit less on the have to because, beat reporters, we can only really rely on them so much. But there was a report that came out yesterday. I don't know if you guys were able to see this report or not. Matt Mayoko of NBC Bay Sports, he said that the 49ers expect Jerick McKinnon to get a lot of work in Week 10 against the Saints. He should be recovered from his tired legs. Look, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the reality. I think
exactly.
I think I agree. I think you do have to lean towards DJ Dallas because he's in the better offense. And any report could come out about the 49ers. They could say that Jerick McKinnon is guaranteed 30 touches, and he could come out and get 5. You know what I mean? It's just, I think I feel more comfortable leaving McKinnon on the bench than I do DJ Dallas.
Yeah. Last thing before we move on, Carlos Hyde and Chris Carson has confirmed been ruled out for this game. So I think that's a plus side to kind of lean more towards that. And that's it. I'm starting DJ Dallas not because I have him, but because I personally believe he will have the better game.
Okay. Jordan Westfield from our Fantasy Football League says Zach Savage or Daniel Badaki. Start one, sit one. I'm going to start.
If you're trying to get a W, hit me up.
There you go. He's made his own call. DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel. This is actually crazy that this is a conversation now, isn't it? Yeah. Luke Rogers asking this question. DJ Moore or Curtis Samuel. It's actually crazy that we're now in a place where this is actually a legitimate question and it's understandable. Yeah. How do you feel about this?
This one's easy for me. I think it has to be Curtis Samuel purely because Christian McCaffrey is out. Even when CMC was in, he was still getting the ball, surprisingly. So Mike Davis is in. Christian McCaffrey is out. Curtis Samuel will get some touches as a running back, and I think he will get, some targets. Yeah.
And it's true, we got to stop having a little bit of bias towards DJ Moore. We've had plenty of sample sizes now. And the realistic part of this is that when a new coach comes in, Matt Rule, when a new coach comes in, they like certain people and they don't like other people, and they're going to get them involved in the game plan. And, Curtis Samuel has been one of the biggest busts for sure. Obviously, Kenyon Drake is in that category, but I agree.
DJ Moore, you mean?
Sorry, yes, DJ Moore. That's what I meant. Jordan Burroughs says Joshua Kelly, Chargers star of the future. Interested in your thoughts, Badaki.
He's the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Is he?
Look, he's.
You were high. I just want everyone who's watching who doesn't know this. Badaki was very high on Josh Kelly, and he was trying to sell him as this RB1 in our fantasy football league, and didn't work out. But sometimes you see the potential, and it doesn't always pan out, right?
No, you're right. What's crazy is that if you actually look at his stats, when Austin Eckler, I think it was week 2 or week 1, when Austin Eckler was in, Joshua Kelly was getting touches.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, that was Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson was out. Maybe that would have went to Justin Jackson. Justin Jackson had a great game, 2 weeks ago already. But Joshua Kelly, I think he's going to have an opportunity. Kalen Ballage obviously has been, activated to the active roster. But I think Joshua Kelly has a perfect opportunity to play. He is playing the Miami Dolphins, which is an incredibly great defense, mind you. Look, I think it's a good opportunity. I still believe in Joshua Kelly. Okay. He might not be the future for this team, but he is a talented player. A lot of people are saying that he doesn't pass the eye test.
Look, sometimes you make calls as a fantasy football analyst as we are growing into the role.
That's right.
And sometimes it doesn't work out.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, we've got some more questions here. Braden Hurst, should I trade Joe Mixon and Mike Evans for Keenan Allen and DJ Chark? I just want to let everyone know who's watching the live, by the way. We are reading your questions from top to bottom. Don't worry, we're going to get to your question. Every question is going to get answered today, so don't stress. I think, Braden, what's really key in these type of trade questions is your depth. What sort of depth do you have? Because if you're losing Joe Mixon, then you definitely need to have a really good running back room to do that move. Is that do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think so as well. It all depends on your running back room and how good it looks, and if you're confident in trading away somebody.
I'm personally going to say no on that trade. I think you need to keep Joe Mixon, but of course, if you've got 3 amazing running backs already, then it's up to you. Like at the end of the day, guys, we can only tell you in these scenarios what we would personally do. Can't tell you what's going to happen. We don't have a crystal ball to predict those kind of things. But again, those kind of questions, guys, if you're going to ask trade questions or start questions, we need to know the depth. We need to know the options. I was only considering the trade if I could trade the guys. Don't know exactly what that means. All right, Noah Selby. What's up, my guy? Definitely a Dolphins fan here. Did not like our upset of the week. Oh, man, I actually love those upsets because I feel like people their hearts are really in it when we have an upset over their team, and it's all love, though. All right, Noah says, in between Gio or Darrell Henderson in my flex spot, what are our thoughts? This is a great question.
Darrell Henderson.
Because Gio's obviously going up against the Steelers. How do you feel about this?
This is hard. I think you have to start Gio. It's the upside. Darrell Henderson is playing the Seattle Seahawks. I personally think that game's going to be a shootout. So they're going to abandon that run game, and either Cincinnati is going to be from behind or they're going to be putting up a fight. And Gio, I personally think if they get within the 10-yard line to score, Gio's going to have the opportunity to score.
Yeah,
they're going to try at least once or twice.
Yeah.
So it has to be Gio for me.
Okay. And I can probably concur with that. Gabriel, Connor had another question. I have it rough this week. McCaffrey out, Mixon on bye, and Tyreek out on his bye. Man, that's a real place, honestly. Like, the reality is I'm in a very similar place, guys, in our league that we cover on this podcast. I've got Tyreek Hill out, Calvin Ridley out, Christian McCaffrey is out. Thank God Nick Chubb is coming back, but
right,
it's a real place, and these injuries sometimes got you feeling some sort of way.
That's pitiful. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful.
Okay, let's have a look at our next question. Gabriel Sanchez, Dallas Goedert or Noah Fant? You feel a certain way about Dallas Goedert. I'm going to lean Dallas, but I think you might lean the other way.
Yeah, Noah Fant plays the Raiders.
Yeah,
Dallas Goedert plays the Giants. Maybe because I'm putting a little bit of bias in it because I still believe in my team. But I think in the long run, I don't think Dallas. I think I keep saying. I just want to clarify. I don't think Dallas Goedert is the guy in the long haul.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, in the long haul, let's just talk about this year. Let's pretend like just this year.
Okay. I still believe that Zach Ertz will come back and he will have more points than Dallas Goedert. I could be.
Does that have anything to do with the fact that Zach Ertz is on your bench?
No, that has to do with.
I'm just kidding.
That I believe on his team, but not believe in his team. I believe in that offense. I believe that once everyone's back healthy, Zach Ertz will be open.
Okay.
Everyone was hurt. And who did they double team? Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
When they run the ball, they stuff the box. Because no one else is a threat on that team. Not everyone's. Alshon Jeffrey's back. Jalen Reagor's back. Dallas Goedert's back. So it opens up for Zach Ertz, who is, I think, a lot more talented than Dallas Goedert.
Okay. Guys, just want to remind you, hey, if you aren't subscribed to us yet here on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss any notifications. We are going to do these lives more often for you guys. Seems like you're loving them. We love to help you out. So just hit the subscribe button for us. Hit the like button as well. But all right, let's have a look at our next question. Matt Becker says, JD, I'm assuming McKissick, or DJ Dallas. How do you feel about this? I think it really does matter if it's PPR or not. If it is a PPR league, I'm going to probably lean... I might still lean DJ regardless. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this one's really hard. I think that DJ just has a better matchup, and I expect him to get more points, which is also concerning for me.
No, he
as
doesn't
well.
have the better matchup. McKissick's going up against the Lions.
Yeah, what he's talking. I'm just talking about run game. I think of the opportunity for people.
Okay. So you're
like
thinking volume-wise?
Say that again.
You're thinking volume-wise?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously the Seattle Seahawks love to run the ball. Love to throw the ball. And I think Washington, it's going one. We're going to see a new offense with Alex Smith in here. So
Come on, Washington.
I
Let's go.
think that. So
Out of the ashes we rise, Washington football team.
Alex Smith, wow, welcome back.
Welcome back to the football team, please.
He is the comeback player of the year.
Okay, all right. I like
Sorry.
it.
I think and who else has come back? Anyways, comeback player of the year. Anyways, let me go back to the question: JD or DJ Dallas? I think it has to be.
If it's PPR, I'm gonna say it has to be JD McKissick for me. But if it's a half PPR standard, then I would probably roll with DJ because of the offense and the opportunity.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you're leaning DJ regardless.
I think I lean more DJ personally because what's hard about DJ is that if they go up a lot, Antonio's gonna have the opportunity. They're gonna give Antonio the ball. Antonio is still the number one guy.
Yeah.
Okay. They're gonna give him the ball. They're going to stay with the run game, and he is the better back there, and we know that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Antonio Gibson, please. Free Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. It all depends on the score.
All right, we got some more questions. Let's get through some of these. Jordan Reed or Austin Hooper from Pat's Rulefi. I think that's how you say it. Look, guys, I know that there's hype on Jordan Reed. He could fill that role. But, guys, he put up 1 or 2 points last week. You can't be starting him with any confidence. I'm probably starting Austin Hooper, and I think you definitely feel the same. Controversial? I guess that's how you say it.
Controversial.
Pick one to play, PPR. Joshua Kelly, Hasty, Cordell Patterson, Burkhead, Homer, DJ, Dallas, or Pope. My gosh, man.
Homer's out already, so that's easy.
Yeah.
Cordell Patterson or Hastings, I wouldn't start off the bat.
Yeah.
Hastings or Homer, you don't start. Cordell Patterson's a really good option. Burkhead, DJ Dallas, or Pope.
It's got to be DJ, right? It's got to be DJ Dallas.
Pick one.
All right, Thomas.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say Cordell Patterson, I think, could have a good game.
Yeah, I mean, he could have a good game. I think following what we said beforehand, I am going to go with the opportunity, though, personally. All right, let's see. Next question is from Thomas Chariton. Sorry, guys, if we're screwing up your names. Ben or Breeze? Ben's obviously coming off the COVID list. He doesn't have COVID, so he's okay. But he did have injuries in both his knees last week. Looks like he's fine. Looks like he's going to play against Cincinnati. But Drew Brees played really well last week, so this is a hard one. The matchup's better for Ben. Who are you leaning here?
Yeah, the matchup is better for Ben. I'm just thinking of the whole scenario. I think this really depends on Drew's playing at home. I'm going Drew Brees.
All right, Drew Brees. There you go. Thomas and Jacobs for Cook. All right, so I'm assuming, Luke Karam, your question is Michael Thomas and Josh Jacobs for Cook. Again, guys, anytime you ask a question about trades, we really do need to know your depth, because the reality is if you don't have any other wide receivers, if you're rocking with, I don't know, Justin Jefferson as your wide receiver one, if you trade away Michael Thomas, then no, you just can't do it. But if you have a good wide receiver depth, we are comfortable with that trade. You're getting Dalvin Cook. I still believe in Michael Thomas.
Right.
And I think if you're trading for Michael Thomas, you're getting him at a premium, right? At a low, sorry. You're getting him at a low. I just want to remind everyone, we said this on the podcast this week. The Saints were up 31-0 at halftime. 31-0. Michael Thomas was coming back, first game back. They threw touchdowns to these unknown guys. They didn't need to use their stars. Alvin Kamara was barely used. I just feel like Michael Thomas is going to come back to that PPR 17 to 20 point games. He might not reach the 30-point games anymore, but I just don't want anyone to undervalue Michael Thomas. How do you feel about this trade, though? Michael Thomas, Josh Jacobs, or Dalvin Cook? I mean, we can only answer the question without knowing your depth in mind. So, what do you think?
Man, it's not that I don't believe in Michael Thomas. I think that I just think it's too late to have him in the year now, and I don't think there's enough, unless you're in a playoff position where you can kind of hold on to him, and maybe getting Michael Thomas can kind of push you to the playoffs. But even then, I don't think that they're going to be utilizing him as much as we think we want him to be used. I know we talked about this on the podcast, but I would be choosing a lot. Crazy to say, I'll be choosing a lot more other options than Michael Thomas right now.
Yeah, we see a little bit differently. I want to see another 2 games before I really judge what Michael Thomas is going to be, and I know that's hard to say because playoffs are around the corner. So I think without looking at the teams, then yes, it is a safe trade. But again, if you don't have a good wide receiver core, then no, you can't make that trade.
Yeah.
Trey S, full PPR, choose 2. Geo Swift, Brandon Cooks, or Deontay Johnson. Okay. He said, thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love, We're doing everything we can for the Fantasyland fam. Appreciate you, Trey. Okay. Badaki, what are we thinking here? A lot of options. We can only pick 2. And most of these guys are, again, you're kind of giving us a bunch of players who are clumped in this tier 2, tier 3 type players.
Yeah.
What are we thinking here, Badaki?
It's a lot. I'm trying to... Which one? What's the question? I'm trying to find the question, actually.
Yeah, it's Trey S, full PPR. You can choose 2. Gio Bernard, Swift, Brandon Cooks, or Deontay Johnson.
Trey S. Okay, full Geo, Swift, Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson. I am choosing... I'll have to go Cooks. Cooks is a good guy. I think he has a great matchup this week. Okay, that's number 1. I think that's a good against Cleveland.
I agree.
Deontay
He was the first
Johnson
one that came to my mind as well.
Deontay Johnson, Geo Swift.
I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking definitely Brandon Cooks. Here's how we kind of help with these scenarios. Trey, if you want to take a risk, you want to risk it for the biscuit. Then probably Deontay Johnson. But you have to be aware, Deontay, out of all these players, probably has the highest ceiling and the lowest floor. What does that mean? Well, he could probably get you 30 points, or he could probably get you 3. There's, typically there's not those safe weeks. I'm probably going to be leaning with Gio, knowing that he's starting, and Brandon Cooks. It is a good defense, but he isn't involved in the passing game. You agree?
I agree. Deontay Johnson. Man. Nah. I'm going Brandon Cooks, Gio.
Okay. We're on the same page.
Brandon Cooks, Gio.
JD. Joe Dickow. He's in our fantasy football league. He says, why no crystal ball? Get on top of it. I may have more.
Oi, how's Phoenix, Joe? Huh?
Yeah, Joe, how's Phoenix?
Going? How's Phoenix?
How is,
hopefully she's watching the stream.
Just want to say, treat Joe right, okay? Joe is a gem. Yep. I'm sure you're a great person, too. Better treat him right. Okay, on to fantasy football. Controversial. Pick 3 for PPR. Michael Thomas, Will Fuller, Antonio Brown, John Brown, Jarvis Landry. For me, this is probably easy. Michael Thomas, Will Fuller, and Antonio Brown.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Matt Becker. My depth for wide receiver is Curtis and Mike Williams. My running back depth is now DJ, Singletary, JD, and Derrick Henry. Eagles fan, I needed to hear that. I think he asked a question earlier
That was a long question. Did we see this? I'm 7-2 first place, and I have Derrick Henry, JD, Singletary, MT Robinson. He really broke down his team there.
Yeah, he did. I appreciate that. 7-2 in first place. I'll be honest with you, man. I'm glad you're in first place, but some of these guys that you're starting are a little bit questionable. So should I look to trade one of my 3 wide receivers for a solid RB2 or just roll with this squad? This is an example where I think you can probably trade Michael Thomas or Terry McLaurin to try and get a better running back, because I don't trust your running backs going into the playoffs, if I'm honest with you. DJ's going to be irrelevant when Carson's back. Singletary's not got that role anymore. J.D. McKissick is good, but do you want to trust him in the playoffs? I don't know. So I think we would probably both agree, package either Michael Thomas or Terry McLaurin to get another running back too. Someone you can get really cheap right now is a Josh Jacobs. People don't believe in Josh Jacobs. But he's got volume. Volume is king in fantasy, and I think that's probably a good name to maybe potentially target, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a lot. It's a lot to analyze, a lot to kind of break down, which is great. Which is also a great opportunity to let you know that we do have Patreon, patreon.com/FantasyLand fam, where we do offer ways that we can help you. Like in this scenario, Matt, like obviously we're live right now. We would love to break it down. Probably be a little bit too much because we have a lot of different opinions on each and every one of these people. But look, there's still so much. But if you would love for us to kind of break that down more into depth, I think Patreon would be a great
place,
way for us to help.
We get to have a lot of cool conversations with people on Patreon. The Patreon community is small, but it's growing every day. And we get to have a lot of more personal conversations with people, a bunch of different tiers. Patreon.com/FantasyLandFam. Controversial again says Jordan Reed or Kyle Rudolph. Jordan Reed, don't think Kyle Rudolph should ever be started. Gabriel Sanchez, need 2 running backs. Antonio Gibson, Mike Evans, Chase Edmonds, and Nick Chubb. Mike Evans is not a running back.
Need 2 running back.
So
good to know.
I think you got to be going with Antonio Gibson and Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb's matchup is beautiful. If he's got the old role, you can't have him on your bench. And Antonio Gibson is going up against Detroit. Detroit's terrible against the run, guys. They give up the most touchdowns to running backs. Right? We see it on the same way?
I definitely agree.
Someone offered me Tyreek Hill for Josh Jacobs. Do I take it? It's standard. Again, depth is really, really key here. Miles, we need to know what your depth is to really answer that question, but let's answer it without knowing that in mind. Tyreek Hill for Josh Jacobs. He's getting Tyreek Hill.
In standard.
Here's the deal. Josh Jacobs is more valuable in standard than PPR. But you could say the same about Tyreek Hill, right? Because he's kind of got the deep bomb. He doesn't always get those targets.
Absolutely, he definitely gets the touchdowns. He doesn't always get the targets, but the touchdowns are there for Tyreek. Josh Jacobs gets the carries.
Yeah,
he gets the opportunity. So I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, I think without seeing your depth, it's a little bit hard to answer the question. But we see it as a relatively even trade. I think I would prefer Tyreek Hill without seeing your depth. All right, let's have a look. Mixed Sweets. What's up, my guy?
Mixed Sweets. Oh, boy.
Mixed Sweets is saying Tyreek Hill is number 1 wide receiver. Yes, he is. So make sure that you value Tyreek Hill. But again, guys, we can't really answer these questions without knowing your depth. Any trade question, you really got to tell us your depth, because when you could easily have 3 top 5 running backs, and you're asking about getting Tyreek Hill, and we don't know that. So that would change our answer. RB2, Miles Sanders, Chubbs, or Jacob. Dang, bro, you got a lot of running backs to choose from for your RB2. Have you considered trading one of these guys to upgrade a different part of your roster?
Yeah.
We always tell this to people who are really heavy in a certain area. If means you've already got a really good RB1, and you've got Miles Sanders, Nick Chubb, and Josh Jacobs. Consider trading one of these guys to improve at tight end, at wide receiver, Maybe quarterback if it's an elite guy. We don't value quarterbacks as high as the other positions.
Yeah, same. Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. Bro, trade. You got to trade. You got to make moves. I'm trying to make moves right now, honestly.
So who are you starting out of those three, though? Let's answer the question for him.
I'm starting JJ based on matchup. Josh Jacob. Let me just double check his matchup.
Josh Jacobs is going against Denver, and Denver is actually pretty good against the run.
Yeah, so I'm doing Chubb and Sanders this week.
Okay.
If I had to choose two.
You have to choose one from what it looks like. You have to choose one.
Choose one. Chubb.
All right. Chubb's got a great matchup, and I would tend to agree with that. I don't know. Should I accept the trade? He wants Robinson. What's up, Aiden? Answering your question here. He wants Robinson and giving me Chubb, Godwin, and Evans. If you are getting Chubb, Godwin, and Evans, absolutely. You're only giving up Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson's a great wide receiver, but I feel like that's absolute yes for me.
Yeah, you definitely get, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Maybe you can sell Mike Evans for something else.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I agree. I love that trade for you. Ryan Kennedy, what's up, my guy? Thielen, Deontay, or Chark this week?
Ooh. Prime time. Prime time for Thielen.
So you're going to roll with Thielen there?
I think so. I think Thielen will find the end zone this week.
I agree.
Let me just double check.
Here's the thing, guys.
He got
I know there's been a little bit of a trust issue with Adam Thielen, and it's understandable. But you have to keep in mind that the last couple matchups the game plan's been purely to run the ball because they've been facing defenses that are terrible against the run. So, I would probably still trust Adam Thielen there. Where's Mostert going to rank when he's back? Really good question.
Man, he was on pace for something really special this year, I think.
He was.
If he did not get hurt, I was really excited for Raheem.
I think he's a he's an RB2 when he comes back. Can't say he's an RB1 because all the weapons in SF are kind of gone. George Kittle isn't there, so that hurts every area of your offense. Jimmy G's not there, which regardless of what you think about Jimmy G, that was the game plan going in.
Yeah.
I think he is an RB2 going forward. So if you don't know what that means, RB1 is anywhere from 1 to 12. RB2 is anywhere from 13 to 24, onwards and onwards. So we see him as an RB2 going forward. Jordan Westfield says, Miles Sanders or James Conner?
Can't answer your question, Wesley. I'm playing you this week.
All right, I'll answer your question then, Wesley. Are you actually playing Wesley in the league?
I actually am playing Wesley. I can give you advice.
Wes, why the hell are you not starting both of these guys? That's the real question. You should be starting both, but if I had to choose one, I would probably lean James Conner. But you should be starting both of those guys. D haha, what's up, my guy? Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson? Kirk or Mike Evans for this week? Okay, we got two questions here from D haha. First one here, Badaki, is Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson?
Watson has a better matchup. Josh Allen is a monster. If you have both of these guys, wow.
Yeah.
Trade one of them away.
Yeah. I think you have to start Josh Allen, but
yeah, you have to start Josh Allen. But we keep saying that trade people away. We're trading people away to better different positions. We're not trading them away because because we don't think you should have good two players. They're two great players. I think you should trade away maybe Josh Allen, get a lot of value. He hasn't had his bye yet. He's gonna have his bye, I think, in week 12 or 13. So obviously, Deshaun Watson already had his bye.
Yeah.
So consider it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I think when we do these trade targets and we tell you to trade people away, and people see the post on Instagram, but they don't listen to the pod, so they don't actually understand the context. When we tell you to trade someone away, we think that you could get really great value to improve your team as a whole. And this is one of those scenarios. If you have both of these guys, consider trading one of them because you could potentially improve your team at tight end, at wide receiver, at running back. But to answer your question, we would be starting Josh Allen and then Christian Kirk or Mike Evans this week. Let's have a look here.
Wow.
Let's have a look. That is a really hard question.
That's a really hard question. That's crazy to say. Christian Kirk or Mike Evans.
I'm probably personally going to lean Evans, because I think as much as Mike Evans is a boomer bust guy, Christian Kirk is that as well, guys. Let's not forget, like, yes, he is starting to emerge, but defenses do start to game plan after they start to see trends. So I'm personally going to lean Mike Evans.
I agree. Mike Evans, but I think Christian Kirk is also a great start. He's, once again, consistency. He's been very consistent for the past 3 weeks. Well, I think they're both great.
Yeah. Okay. So Gabriel Sanchez, he said, my last question was supposed to be with Mike Davis, not Mike Evans. So he said he needs 2 running backs. We would still go Antonio Gibson and Nick Chubb there, my guy. You can't sit either of those guys. Their matchups are too good. Austin Hooper or Noah Fant. I think we this week and the rest of the season. Interesting question, actually. I think we may have addressed this, but I think you're leaning Noah Fant.
Yes, Noah Fant in this scenario.
Okay, I would agree for this week and the rest of the season. The reality is, yeah, he's not been great the last couple of weeks, but a lot of that has to do with injury. If he can stay healthy, he's legit got a top 5 tight end ceiling every week. So I don't know that you could say the same for Austin Hooper because of the way that offense is ran. Do you want to know my running backs? Absolutely would love to know your running backs, Miles. You got to let us know when you type that question. It's going to be hard to follow up with you. All right, Luke Karam. My wide receiver depth is Hopkins, Cooks, and AB. I'm the one that asked about the Jacobs and Thomas for Cooks. For Cook. My wide receiver depth is Hopkins, Cooks, and AB. What do you think?
Yeah, man.
And he's in that trade where he's getting Dalvin Cook, but he's giving up Josh Jacobs and Michael Thomas. I don't think he's got the depth to do it, personally.
No. Brandon Cooks and AB. Hopkins. So he's just going to... It's so hard because Dalvin Cook is such like... Why wouldn't you do it for Dalvin?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think he had the depth.
I don't think you have the depth either, and I think what we've learned this year more than any other year is 1 week can change anything, guys. 1 week could change anything. So personally, I don't think you can undervalue depth this year. And right now, if you're trading for Dalvin Cook, you're trading for him at his highest value.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to keep that in mind. PPR, Philip Lindsay or Matt Breida. I'm definitely going to go Philip Lindsay. Don't trust the backfield of the Dolphins at all. And I think Badaki feels the same way.
Yep.
Aiden should have said it, James Robinson. I don't know exactly what his question was. He wants James Robinson, and he's giving me Chubb, Godwin, and Evans. Absolutely. Yes, still do that trade. James Robinson's great, guys, but his schedule gets pretty hard. And volume is good, but you also need to be in a good offense. And I think a lot of these apps that you might follow have James Robinson ranked really high. I saw him ranked in some apps like RB5 rest of season. I don't personally see that happening. I think he's more RB10 to 13 rest of season.
Exactly, that's where I rank him.
And this is probably crazy, whatever. I would probably rather have Nick Chubb than James Robinson rest of season. Wow. I might be wrong. I
think, he's just on a better team. He's on the better team. I believe so as well.
Okay, Ryan Kennedy says, I was going to play...
Chark with Jair.
Sorry, I just lost the comment.
I was going to play Chark with Jair out between him, Deontay, and Thielen. Kind of surprised to hearing that you say Thielen. I've been losing faith in him.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Yeah, we get it as well. We think that Thielen has a better opportunity. I know not technically he doesn't have the better opportunity. He's going against the Chicago defense. I personally think that he just has a better opportunity to score. Really,
Yeah.
you know.
And I think you got to keep in mind one play last week got Chark half his points. Okay,
Exactly.
great play. He had a great week. Chark is super talented, uber talented. But keep in mind, before this, he's had games of 3 points, 4 points, 11 points, 12 points. So he is kind of the definition of a boom or bust, and it's been more bust than it's been boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the same can be said about Deontay Johnson with being boom or bust. Same could be said about Adam Thielen. We just trust Adam Thielen. There's less options in Minnesota than there is in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Daniel Ilioy, Michael Thomas over under 30 points, under Saints defense over under 30 points, under James Robinson over under 30 points. Go
They're
ahead.
both. They're all under. I don't think Michael Thomas is going to get 30. I don't think Michael Thomas is getting over 30 points.
Let me ask you a question.
The Saints defense.
Michael Thomas over under
21
points. That's a more realistic.
More realistic.
Point of view there.
I'm just thinking. I think he'll get a touchdown. I'll think he will catch 9 passes. Just under, bro. Just under.
Okay, just under. Some of your questions are hilarious. Adrian Peterson over under 30 points. Safe to say it's an under there for the old boy AP.
Gotta love Wesley. Wesley, you should start AP this week, please.
Obviously, Badaki and Wesley, Jordan Westfield are playing each other in our league this week, so he's purposely giving him bad advice. Ty Wilson, Jacoby Myers, or Kalen Ballage. Ty, just want to say, first off, from this side of the screen to yours, I want to say I'm sorry. Whatever happened this year in fantasy football for you, I'm so sorry that you find yourself in this place where you have to decide between these two guys.
Kalen Ballage.
I don't think you can start Ballage with any confidence.
No way.
I know you had a good week, but I think you just can't start him with confidence. Jacoby Myers, you can't start with confidence either because Baltimore's defense is elite. But if I have to choose someone, probably leaning Jacoby Myers.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The GG's, boys. Thanks for playing.
Okay, let's have a look here.
Sam Green.
Travis Kelce over under 30 points. I'd say safe under this week with him on a bye week. Tommy Bockley said Joseph Dickow or Thomas David Bockley. ¿Por qué los dos? I said it right this time.
¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Why not both? I can't believe I messed it up again. I messed it up on the pod this week and, of course, on the live stream. Yeah, why not both? Love both of those guys. Daniel, you okay? Kelsey got a bye. Yeah, let him know. Talk it up. Dalvin Cook over under 5 points. You guys are just trolling. Your boy Drew says best fantasy page. That's love.
Shout out to Drew.
That is love. A big shout out to you, my guy. Appreciate that. Jordan, you okay? Way over. Daniel Ilioy is trolling the chat. Okay, your boy Drew, we got another question here. Another legit question. Devontae Parker or Chase Claypool in a PPR league? Really good question.
I think I might have to go Devontae.
Really?
I think so. I think the matchup is there in some sort of way or form.
Are you sure?
I think so. I'm not confident in starting Chase Claypool.
I would personally be starting Chase Claypool in the scenario against Cincinnati. What we have to keep in mind here, I don't know, maybe this changes your mind, maybe it doesn't, but
let's see.
Cincinnati, they can score points. They can put points up on the board.
Right.
And I think that even though this is a really good defense they're going against, I still see Cincinnati scoring at least 21 points this game. So with that in mind, they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit. Chase Claypool, it's been pretty obvious these last couple weeks. Regardless of matchup, they're trying to get him involved now. with the jet sweeps, with the slants, with the long ball. I'm personally going to be starting Chase Claypool in this scenario. Have I changed your mind or maybe not?
Yeah.
I have?
Yeah. You changed my mind. Claypool.
No conviction there from Badaki.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. I agree that the Bengals can put up points, and I agree that, it can be a game where some sort of shootout, So I think Claypool can find the end zone. He won't be targeted much, but I think he can find the end zone maybe once, which can save your fantasy day where Devontae Parker, he's either going to have a really good game. When I say really good game, he's probably getting 15 plus points.
Yeah, okay. That question is very interesting. It's from Jordan Burroughs. And it says, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Aaron Jones, kiss one, marry one, kill one. Y'all getting wild. Okay.
I think they're on Call of Duty all playing right now. Talking trash.
Probably
Shout
are.
out to Call of Duty. Once again, follow the Fantasyland Gaming Instagram. We're gonna probably be going live very soon. I just built a PC. I would show you, but technically I'm on it. But hit us up, Fantasyland Gaming.
Yeah, on Instagram at Fantasyland Gaming. If you like gaming, we're gonna start gaming live, similar to what you're looking at, but we'll be playing Call of Duty. Maybe some sports games as well. It depends. Might do a Madden franchise with some of the boys. I thought about that. I don't know if anyone likes that idea.
Yeah,
Let us know.
Madden. Among Us.
Okay, but I guess to answer the question, I don't think you're going to be killing Derrick Henry. The boy's a monster. I feel like you can't choose him. I don't feel comfortable answering this question, actually. This feels like a very, very hard question to answer. Blue Crew, I saw you had a question and you retracted it.
GG's.
Can
I have Jacobs as my running back to happen? Yeah, sure.
Can I meant satisfied. Can I have Jacobs as my running back too happily? Like, I guess is the question, can you be satisfied with him as your running back too? If that's the question, I would say yes, because the volume is there. All right, go ahead, Badaki.
No, I was just the Blue Crew guy came back with his question. I think he
Go ahead.
Phrased it. I'm starting Thielen, Cooper Kupp, T. Higgins. I'm benching Chris Godwin, half PPR, but I'm extremely worried about Thielen's matchup versus the Bears. Your thoughts? I'm starting Thielen, Cooper Kupp, and T. Higgins.
I think you have to be worried about Adam Thielen. We're telling you to start him, but I think you still have to be worried, right? I mean, you have to start him, but there's no confidence when you do. But you can't leave him on the bench.
Yeah, well, he's benching Godwin, half PPR, and I think which I think is in a smart move personally, because we saw that his finger is still not okay. Okay, he hasn't catched the ball all week. They weren't going to let him catch the ball, so it's either today, probably by tomorrow morning, my Australian time. Tomorrow, maybe an hour or two before kickoff, we're gonna find out if he's gonna be. He's gonna be okay. I think he will play, but we really don't know if he's gonna be getting touches.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna rest him. They're making a playoff push. They need Chris Godwin to be in the playoffs. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you sit Chris Godwin and start T. Higgins instead?
He going against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's, if you look at it, I think they give up the 7th most fantasy points to
Pittsburgh is currently the 21st worst defense. So they are their second half. They're not very good defense against the pass.
So I mean, if we're just going based off that statistics and what we know with Chris Godwin and what we think is going to happen with Chris Godwin, I would personally I think what he's doing is right. He has to bench Chris Godwin. Start T. Higgins.
I'm a little bit skeptical, but I think what we've always preached is consistency.
Yeah.
And T. Higgins has been consistent since week 3.
Yeah.
21 points, 13, 10, 18, 18, 14.
It won't be amazing, but he will put up points.
I do see more of a 10 to 14 point game here.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But I think Godwin's upside is higher, but his floor is lower.
Exactly. That's
So
the
you're
problem.
kind of doing a risk aversion move here.
What did Godwin catch? How many points he got last week?
Well, I think we just got to throw out last week altogether. But I think Chris
for
Godwin
sure.
had about 7 fantasy points PPR. Yeah, 7.10 fantasy points in PPR.
How
Not
many
very
times was
good.
he targeted? He was targeted 6 times. He caught 3 of those. Look, I think he will
Can
probably
I-
stay in that range.
Can I
6 to
tell you
10
a little hunch I have?
I'm listening.
I have a hunch, and I could be wrong, but I have a hunch. I have a feeling that they're going to go to the drawing. They went to the drawing board this week, Tampa Bay,
Right.
and they said, "Look, we got to figure out who's the guys here, because we can't have." We said this on the podcast. All these guys in this offense should be great for Tampa Bay, but it's terrible for fantasy. You got Ronald Jones, you got Leonard Fournette, you got Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate if you want to add him, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin. Too many cooks in the kitchen at some point. And I think for fantasy, that's really bad.
Yeah.
But it's also, at some point, if you don't have a game plan for this, it's really bad for your team as well. And I think last week we saw that. It felt very much like let's try and get AB involved. It didn't really work. Did you see the quote, by the way, from Bruce Arians saying Mike Evans was open? And they were like, what are you saying? Did Tom Brady not see him? And he was like, Mike Evans was open. I just have a feeling that they're going to simplify the game plan this week. I don't think Antonio Brown is involved. He still has the upside because he has that long bomb potential. But I feel like Godwin's going to be the highest scorer from this wide receiver core.
From this wide receiver core. Okay. Yeah, I believe so as well. I think we saw AB getting targeted in some ways as well. You know? So look, take it how you will, but I'm really not confident in any of these guys starting them.
No, personally. I get it. I think you're making the right move here. This is a risk aversion move. I just want to say though, let's say your opponent is just like, man, his team is stacked, and you're like, I need to take a risk. Sometimes you need to take a risk to see if it's going to pay off. Consider slotting Godwin in. But yeah, I think you are doing the right move here. This is a risk aversion move. All right, Dominic. What's up, my guy, Dominic? Dumpster Dive. I love it. It's a real place, man. A lot of people are there this week. Dumpster Dive. He says, Malcolm Brown. Null? Not sure who Null is supposed to be.
I think that's the Bears running back.
Oh, right. Okay. Patterson. Okay, I get it now. And Homer. Homer's not playing.
Ryan Null.
Malcolm Brown.
I'm not saying Malcolm Brown.
Cordell, right?
Homer's not playing. Cordell, Patterson, or no?
Probably Cordell, right?
Yeah. Look, I haven't really done much research on no. I think that they are going to abandon the run. Personally, I think they're going to give Cordell Patterson a couple opportunities, but I'm not really sure if they're confident in trying to create something.
Let me quickly look at what it looked like last week. Let's have a look at what it looked like last week after Montgomery went out.
Well, Noel did score a touchdown last week. He caught 4 passes for 35 yards. He had 13 fantasy points. He didn't have a carry. Mind you, he did leave the game. David Montgomery did leave the game in the fourth quarter. I think like maybe halfway when the fourth quarter is done. But I think what we really need to evaluate is Cordell Patterson and Noel.
I think you got to go Patterson personally, because when you lose a guy like Montgomery, you can't. And not to say that Montgomery is even like this star back, but the game plan's got to change. And I think that when the game plan changes, that means Cordell Patterson is going to be that Swiss Army knife. This is how I see it.
Right.
I think out of the options, you probably have to start Cordell Patterson. Jordan Westwood's an idiot. Let's I love you though. What's your body count? Aiden Tobin, you wanna read this one out for us?
Yeah, Dominic. I don't know what that means. I don't know who he tagged. Oh, he tagged. Oh, he tagged the guy. Noah Patterson. When is going to start? Just check the new.
No, he's the question right before that, my guy.
Where you see this at?
Right before that question.
At Blue Crew. Don't worry, the Bears. Oh no, that's not Dumpster Dive.
Aiden Tobin.
Hayden Tobin, how do you think that this trade I got off?
We got there.
We
got there in the
Lockett
end.
and Diggs. Yeah, I couldn't. There were so many. He has like 3 of them. All right, from the top. How do you think of this trade?
Yep.
I got offered Lockett and Diggs for Robinson and AB. My running backs. I still got Chubb and Henry. Other team, by the way.
Trying to process the question.
Yeah, how do you think of the trade? Let's read it one more again. I got offered Tyler Lockett, Stephon Diggs for Allen Robinson, and Antonio Brown. And my running backs, I still got Chubb and Henry.
Okay, I'm assuming the running backs aren't involved in this trade.
Yeah.
So the trade is you're receiving Tyler Lockett and Diggs for Robinson and AB. Which I would prefer the side of Lockett and Diggs here.
Absolutely. I'm taking it purely because of Stephon Diggs. I think that guy's doing the guy that's trying to trade you right now, he's trying to trade you maybe for a reason because Stephon Diggs does have a late buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just make sure you're aware of that.
Yeah. We got 11 people watching. We got no more questions to answer.
All good. Look, that's great. Look, just a reminder, everyone, please follow all social media accounts, Twitter, Instagram. I was gonna say Facebook, but follow YouTube, subscribe on YouTube.
I feel like Facebook is only for, I don't know. I don't actually use Facebook. I only use it for Marketplace.
Let us know, boys. Whoever's in the chat, let us know if you think Facebook is, you maybe like to have a Facebook community, a group. Maybe we'll start one.
I think what happened is when all my parents got on Facebook, I was kind of like, oh no, I think it was when my grandparents got on Facebook. I was like, this isn't the place for me anymore.
Yeah. But look, follow all the social media accounts. I mean, we have Fantasyland.
Love my parents, by the way, if they're watching.
Shout out to the Savages.
Shout out to the Savages. We do have a couple more questions here. I actually want to just leave time for any questions because what we do on a Saturday is we don't actually answer them on Instagram. We just tell you to come here because we'd love to answer them live. So we got a couple more questions I've just rolled in, Badaki. Before we answer these, quick reminder, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you don't miss any notifications. Go ahead and pop a little like on the video. That would be much appreciated. Mm-hmm. All right.
Huge.
Kellis Talks. Or it might be KLS Talks. Start Anderson or Chark? How you feeling about that, Badaki?
You have to start Robbie, I think.
Yeah. I agree. I'm just looking at their matchups quickly. DJ Chark's at Green Bay, Bucks. And Robbie plays the Bucks. Yeah, I do think you have to start Robbie. We're on the same page there. Yeah. Gamer NXC PPR. Do I deal Jonathan Taylor, I assume, and Terry for D-Hop? My wide receivers are currently Ridley, Crowder, Cole, and my running backs are Henry, Chubb, and JT. White, Pirine, and Murray.
Oh, man. This is a bit difficult because they're not really strong and you don't have much depth.
Yeah.
Current wide receivers is Ridley, Crowder. Really, that means you're going to be starting Ridley and D-Hop, which is good. Your running backs are Derrick Henry, Chubb. You lose JT.
Which doesn't really mean too much right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, take it. You lose a receiver and you get technically a better one, but I mean D-Hop is currently ranked number 6 and Terry's ranked 10th, 9th right now currently. Yeah. So I mean you technically upgrade a receiver, but D-Hop has been in. I'll be honest.
I don't think that you're going to get much more value for Jonathan Taylor. But Nyheim Hines, he went off on Thursday night. Will that happen again? Maybe, but next week he could easily finish with 5 points again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we can't really say. I think we both would believe that Naeem Hines is the best running back there for this offense. This offense is best when Naeem Hines is in the backfield.
Yeah.
But we can't promise what that snap count's going to look like going forward. I think you should take the trade. I like DeAndre Hopkins over Terry. And to know that you could start Crowder as your flex, not a bad flex. Lots of targets. And that's really what you're looking for in fantasy. So we're comfortable with it.
Yeah, I like it.
How about either start either Justin Jefferson, Robbie Anderson, or McKinnon or Hunt PPR? K. Ellis, is there only one option to choose here between all these guys?
I'm still going Robbie and Kareem personally.
So if you could choose two, right? Robbie and Kareem.
Yeah, if I'm choosing two, it's Robbie and Kareem. If I had to choose one, could be going Kareem.
Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Don't be too stressed out about Nick Chubb coming back. When you actually look at the numbers, Kareem Hunt's been a little bit better with Chubb in the backfield. So I think Chubb and Hunt are both great options going forward. They are borderline RB1, both of them. He says one option, though. All right, this will probably be the last question we'll answer. So he's got one option there. Are you going Hunt?
This is hard. Rest of the season?
No, just this week.
Yeah, you have to go Hunt, don't you think?
Yeah.
It's really close. I think Robbie and Hunt can be very equal. Well, Kareem with Chubb back, I think Kareem Hunt. I think we discussed it in the podcast. Kareem Hunt, I think, is better with Chubb back.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously Robbie has turned out to be this number one guy in Carolina. So he is either going to. I mean, he's not going to get double teamed. I don't think.
No. I might explore trade options if I was you as well, man. Sounds like you got if all these guys are kind of on your bench, Justin Jefferson, Robbie Anderson, McKinnon, and Hunt. Sounds like you've got a really complete team if those are the guys you're choosing from, and just one option. Consider trading, maybe upgrade at tight end if you don't have a good tight end. I don't know what your situation is. All right, Dominic. We're gonna answer two more. These are the last two, right? Last two.
Yeah, last two.
All right, here we go. Dominic and Yadvir, I think is how you say your name, my guy. We're going to answer your questions, and then we're going to hop off for the night. Dominic, start 3 wide receivers, half PPR. Diggs, Woods, Evans, Shepard, and Cook. Diggs, you have to start. Robert Woods, you have to start. So the question really is Mike Evans, Shepard, or Kirk. I'm not starting Shepard because of his injury, and I'm a little bit hesitant. So for me, and is the same for you between Mike Evans and Christian Kirk? Is that the same?
Yeah, I agree. Mike Evans, Christian Kirk. I like it.
So who are you starting then? Between those two guys.
For Mike Evans or Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
I think for me, if you want to take a chance, Christian Kirk. If you want to have a really, really high ceiling and a low floor, Mike Evans. I think Christian Kirk will get your 6 to 12 points, which is a really big gap, essentially.
Yeah.
But Mike Evans will get you either less than 5 or more than 15.
Yeah.
So
I'm personally going to say Diggs, Woods, and Mike Evans, and I think we would see it pretty similarly. All right, last question here. Should I trade away Anderson and Duke Johnson for Waller and Shepard? So Robbie Anderson and Duke Johnson for Waller and Shepard. Again, guys, with these trade questions, we really need to know depth. If we don't know your depth, it's really hard to answer a question, right? Because a lot of trades are done based off of what depth you have. I mean, you might have amazing depth at a certain position, so you're okay to lose on a trade to improve at a different position. So, Yadvir, I don't know if you're watching, if you could help us out here. But looking at it just without knowing depth, he's giving up Robbie Anderson and Duke Johnson, and he's receiving Waller and Shepard. I would say if you don't have a good tight end already, if you don't have one of those top 5, top 8 guys, I'm okay with this. But again, if you don't have depth at wide receiver and running back doing this trade, you probably can't make the move.
Yeah.
Here we go. My team is Brady, Thielen, Juju, Henry, Aaron Jones, Graham. I'm assuming that's
Graham.
Jimmy, Anderson, and Carson. Okay, good Lord, you've got a lot of good running backs. You've got Henry, Aaron Jones, and Chris Carson. Really great 3 running backs to have on your team.
Yeah,
so you don't need Duke Johnson. You don't need Duke Johnson at all.
You don't. You really don't need Duke Johnson, and I think you should do that trade to get Darren Waller.
So he's got Thielen, Juju. Okay. Right, so it leaves you a little bit weak at wide receiver. But I like it. I like the upgrade from Jimmy Graham to Darren Waller. That actually really helps to see your depth because that's an easy yes for us. But, guys, thanks so much for joining the live stream. If you loved it, give it a like. If you want to have us keep doing this, just let us know in the DMs or in the comments.
Yeah.
We really enjoy going live, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. Last thing that we would like to say is just subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Give the video a like. Badaki, any famous last words?
No, once again, we love the support. We love doing this. If you would love to support us, patreon.com/FantasyLandFam is a great way to go and support the show. If you love what we're doing, if you love fantasy football, and if you love this Fantasyland community, we have 3 different tiers that you can come and support the show. Just to break it down just really quick. First tier is just show support. You like what we're doing. Tier 2, which is gold, is a way that you can get more exclusive content of fantasy football. And the last tier is platinum, which Zach and I will break down your teams. Obviously, there's so many people asking about questions and trades and teams and should I start this, should I start that? We can do that for you every week. We can do that with you one-on-one every week.
Yeah.
So, if you're not ready for this year, definitely next year is a great opportunity because we'll be doing this for a long time.
Absolutely. And regardless, we appreciate everyone's support. It's our first year doing this, and this is what we want to do for forever, honestly. So appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your Sunday night, and get the dub this week.
Get the dub. Subscribe to Fantasyland Gaming as well. We're going to go live stream hopefully this week. Keep saying this week. Also, giveaway should be coming out as well, which is really good.
Yes. Devontae Adams giveaway.
Get excited for that. We'll be announcing that very soon. And once again, gaming. Huge love.
I just realized it was Saturday. I don't know why. Of course it's Saturday because we're doing this, but I just realized that I get to wake up tomorrow and watch football. Like that literally just clicked in my head.
Yeah.
I feel like every Saturday night feels like Christmas. So, all right, guys, have a good Saturday night. We will see you soon. See you there.